in the future. So if you want to hold some technical workshop or you are interested in student community, welcome to reach out us later. So yeah, we are very honored this year to have the chance to bring some developer or technical elements into TPW this year. So yeah, let's start. Let's welcome Kevin from San Francisco. Yay!
Hello everyone. Just to say, Kevin, I'm now a software integration engineer in Self Protocol. So this is going to be the second time we do some sharing in Taipei. So last time we do some quick sharing with our demo in XueDAO's learning session. So today, you can expect to learn the architecture and how it works, the workflow for Self Protocol, and then you will build your first self-verified contract with me. So I'm also one of the founders for XueDAO as well. So if you are interested for self or for XueDAO, please scan and then join our Telegram groups. So if you want to follow the workshop and then get your hands dirty with me, please do the following steps. So first of all, you should search self.xyz and then go to the landing page for our company and then download the app because you will need the mobile app to generate ticket proof and reveal anything. And then search it and download apps. And you have to create one password. So how to create it? You just open the app and then click 5 times in the center of the page. Then you will pop up the one password creating menu. So if you try to do this and then you feel some issue or stopped by any issue, then just raise your hand and let me know and I will figure it out for you. And lastly, follow this repo. So that's pretty much it. Okay. So why we try to build self? So the original question is that how do people really prove online that you are a real human instead of a bot? Especially in nowadays, there's tons of AI agents and bots and like CEO attack. Like airdrop hunter, incentive hunter. How to really prove yourself? The traditional way to do this is by KYC, which is know your customer. And you have to upload all your information, all your documents like passport, your identity card, or even your utility bill, your address, your nationality. This sort of stuff. So all of your private and then sensitive information has been stored by the service provider in their database. So this will have several like three main problems I want to talk about. So first, privacy. You can basically reveal anything needed or even unneeded. So let's say you buy an alcohol at the convenience store. You just have to prove that you are over 18 or in some countries over 21 years old. But in this case, you also reveal where you are, where you live, the address, and then what's your name, and what's your gender, maybe your cross-gender, I don't know. But privacy could be an issue. How to selectively disclose the information that is needed. And secondly, security. Even if the service provider is not malicious, they could independently, they could not intentionally reveal the data. Maybe they have some security vulnerability or have some bugs. Then your data will just leak and people can get it or to buy it on dark webs. So that's not a good way to handle all of the sensitive data. And lastly, the user experience. Imagine you try to access the services and then you end up spend half an hour to just upload and get all your information and then ending and waiting for. So that's the really key issue. So that's why we try to introduce self. So what self do? Just refine the most mature identity system, which is your passport, and leverage it using the biometric passport. So what do I mean by biometrics? It means that for passport, if you see this icon, that means your passport is biometric. They have an NFC chips inside it, so then you can use the NFC reader in your cell phone, just like scanning the Apple Pay. You can scan and then get the data and read the passport information. So the merit for biometric passport is like it's unique for individual, and then it's stored securely because I think this is one of the stuff that you store it very securely, because if you lost it, you cannot go abroad or do anything. So this is very important for people, so they will store it very securely. And then also, as I just mentioned, it's machine readable by your NFC reader or from the machine readable phone inside the passport. So with self, what can you do? So basically, you can prove that following facts without revealing anything. So you can prove that, okay, I'm both 80 years old without revealing, okay, I'm actually 22 or 55. So age-gated, some website need age-gated features so they can integrate self. Or you can prove that you are not from the set of countries that say, I want to exclude some user from the United States or from Taiwan for some compliance issue. Maybe some jurisdiction didn't allow their user to access some finance apps. Then this will be a very good use case as well. And then lastly, money laundering or some compliance want to allow the user in the OFAC checklist to access the app. So this is the fact that you can reveal without revealing any others, so you can selectively disclose. And also the name, the nationality, gender, date of birth, date of expire on passport. You can also selectively disclose based on what kind of business, what kind of services you want to access, and so they will just click. So you don't have to reveal all the things at once. And that's about some real use cases now that's happening. So we recently have some collaboration with Google Cloud and Alipay. So for Google Cloud, they want to introduce their testnet and even mainnet faucet. So mainnet faucet means that if you want to access, let's say, Ethereum mainnet, they can give you the Ethereum token that probably worth $10. So you don't want a user to keep climbing again and again, because this will be an issue. So by integrating self, Google Cloud solve this problem, solve this, have zero resilience trait for their mainnet faucet. And for Aave or any other incentive program, they also love to integrate self to prevent any bot or any people have tons of address to require the incentive again and again. So let's say right now it's already like, so if you deposit some USDT or WEs on Aave market, and you will see by verifying yourself and holding the self-someone token, you can enjoy 15% APY, which is insane. So without self, you can only enjoy like 9%, but with self, you can double the incentive to 50%. So that's what progress. And besides this too, Web3 use cases, we are also in collaboration and in discussion with some dating apps to prove their nationality, their gender, or they are above a certain age, so then you can prevent events that are really famous in China or Beijing. So with self, you can prevent Beijing happening again and again. And so what does the experience look like, and how does it really work technically? So first, of course, you have to do registration. So when you open the app, we will ask you to scan the passport. This should be a video, but not wrong. Anyway, so you should have a biometric passport, and then use your cell phone. You just open it, and then click open the camera, and then you can scan the machine readable loan, which is the main page of your profile. And then once you get scan it, then we will ask you to scan the NFC chips using your cell phone, just like tapping the Apple Pay. And then that's pretty much for registration. And it works now. Okay, let's see how it works. So first of all, you scan the machine logo here, and then it works. Then we're gonna ask you to find the NFC chips ready to scan. Then all of the information has been stored in your client device, which is your mobile cell phone. It's not stored in our database, so it's fully privacy preserved. Right. And then once you create, you successfully register the services, then you can disclose the proof. So right now you hold the identity here, and then you can scan the QR code. So for any protocol or any services integrate with self, they will pop up the QR code if they want user to reveal anything. And then people just scan the QR code, and then click continue, and they will clearly see what kind of metric or what kind of attribute that this service provider requires you to reveal. So let's say name or age or gender, so you don't have to reveal anything unneeded. And then we will also have a warning saying, okay, this is a sensitive information. Let's say an app asks you to reveal your passport number, which is pretty sensitive. So it's pretty friendly. And technically, how it works for registration, when mobile scan the NFC chips, we will generate a secret at the same time as well to increase the to increase, because all of the information, if let's say I know Albert, I know that okay, his age is maybe 23, 24, and then he's a boy living Taipei, Kaohsiung, Taiwan, whatever, and I could just brute force to break the data to fake that okay, I'm actually Albert, which is not ideal. So in this case, we introduce another secret, which is just like a secret key for your wallet. And then this secret you can either back up in your keychain or in your Google Drive or in any passport manager. So right now you already have the data inside your client device. So how to generate proof? We using TE as our secret proof services. So before connecting with TE is basically a black box. You can trust that it executes certain program and nobody can change it. So in this case, we ask TE to generate secret proof and do not store the user's data, and even ourselves we cannot change. So this is the technical component we use. And why using TE instead of using a client-side proving is because the circuit size is too big. We don't expect users to download an app with, let's say, 10 gigabytes, which is insane. So people won't want to download this app. So that's why we're using TE for efficiency and for user experience as well. And once the passport data has been created and sent to TE, inside the TE we will generate a ZK proof and then send to the on-chain registered seller. So right now you already finished your registration, and we will upload the hash of your passport data. So the same passport cannot be registered again and again. And for disclosure, we will require the service provider to integrate with either contract SDK or core SDK, depends on they want to do it on-chain or off-chain. So if they want to do it on-chain, they will choose contract SDK, which we want to do it step by step later on. And so we will also check. First, user will scan the QR code and then make sure that okay, I'm comfortable with sharing this attribute, and then confirm. Then the TE will generate zip proof and send to the endpoint. Either it's a backend or it's on-chain. So why we do it separately and in two steps? This architecture is inspired by a project called Semaphore, and the two main merit for doing this is for speed. So when first registration success, we will store your commitment into a verbal tree. So you don't have to check in the validity of the passport again and again whenever you want to disclose. So this is for speed. And for privacy, it cannot be traced because every time the notifier is different across different service providers. So let's say I'm using the same passport, my passport, Kevin's passport, and I want to access dating app A, dating app B, dating app C, and I don't want girls to find out, okay, this is really it's all from me. So in this case, the notifier will be different. So it's not traceable. So that's also good for privacy concern. If you want to look at the notifier, how the notifier being composed for disclosure, it's hash of secret plus the hash of the scope for that contract. So here is more too deep. So if you want to give it any question. To claim your testnet token here, and you can get free testnet token here by Zello, and then you can calculate your scope. This will be helpful whenever you try to do Excel. So let's get our hands dirty. So we are going to use the workshop Ripple, which is this one. I actually just finished it a few hours ago. So if anyone with that pops and they wanna do it with me, feel free to join. So okay. So if right now you don't have a laptop with you, or you want to do it yourself at home, you can also follow the README. It is super comprehensive. You can just do it step by step. So here is the README. For step one, you have to own the register the repository, and then go to the workshop, which is this folder, and then you have to install all the dependency needed. And I have already installed it, so I don't have to do it again. But if you are following with me, you have to use all the comments here to just copy and paste. And you have to go to tool.xyz to set the verification config you want to use in your app. So let's say I want people over 18 to access my app, and yeah, that's it. And I will deploy the config. Okay. And then I get the config ID. Or if I want to go back checklist, and then I can deploy it again. and you have to deploy every time you're trying to use it, or anyone deploy it for you before you use, then it will be impossible. So not sure, but every time it's good to try to deploy first. And you can also read others verification config here. So let's say I just set the minimum age to be 18 years old, and then all that check enable here, and then all of the country are allowed because I didn't set up any restriction for country. And yeah, that's for the setup. And then you have to go to set up your smart contract. So here we actually have two main folders. One is app for our front end, and one is contract. So we will do the deployment for our verified contract first. So you have to fill the private key here. And in this example, we are using this verification config, which I don't remember what it is. Let's check. Then let me refresh the page. So, let's read it. So in this case, this is the default config. I didn't set any like age gate or any country gate, any rollback. You can just the network you want to deploy. Then if you want to verify your contract, which you can see the source code of your contract, you want everyone to interact with the contract on the Explorer, and then you can set the seller scan in there. You can get it from EaserScan's website. And the scope C we are going to use here is self-function. So you have all of this now, and then I have my private key in the environment file. So I can just run the script. I write the script for you all the way all the things. So you see it's pretty easy. Okay. So in this case, right now we are deploying the contract. So at the same time, you can see what is this contract actually do. So if you want to integrate with self, the main function you have to notice is this one, the custom verification. So you first have to inherit our SDK, which is the verification root, and then you have to override this virtual function, and then do whatever business logic you want. So let's say you can issue an NFT if your user has any certain criteria, or to let people to be able to climb the incentive or distribute. Let's say if user is have their birthday today, then they can climb maybe 100 USDC. So you can write all your business logic. And also you should set the scope and the config ID here. So in this case, the config ID we just get from the tool.xyz will be set here. And that's the three main functions you have to do. So it's super easy. So you want to check the code yourself, you just go to that workshop repository, and feel free to reach out to me if you try to build something interesting. We also have some great program. So okay, let's see. So it's already been deployed. So right now we will use this contract address to override this contract what you should do is that you have to find the page. And this is the main configuration you can notice. The version should be 2, it's the latest version, and your app name, which is just for the display. And the scope you are going to use, this should be identical with what you use in the contract. And then the endpoint, this endpoint should be the address you just deployed. So in this case, it should be or we should set it. Okay. And the user ID, if you want to do something with user's address, you want to distribute something to user's wallet, then you have to require user to connect wallet. Or if you want to add on some security here, you can ask the user to sign a signature to prove that they really own this wallet. But in this case, we don't want to do anything with the wallet, so we'll just ignore it. And then for testnet, you should set the endpoint type to stage itself. And here is some defined user-defined data, which is flexible. You can write any message, or you can pass any parameter you want. Here, I just put hello Taipei Blockchain and shut out. And for disclosure, this is the main configuration for the attribute control. So in this case, I want the minimum age, it's 18, nationality true. I want to see the user's nationality and the gender. So here are all the other attributes you can also control. And you just set it using the QR code, or if you do it in mobile. Let me check. Seems like the internet is slow.
I think it's okay, just keep going.
Does it work now? Anyway, so if you are using the mobile app, we also provide the universal link, which is the deep link, so you can just develop AutoPay or any like mobile web app. So it doesn't necessarily have to pop up the QR code, because sometimes if you browse through your mobile, you cannot scan the QR code, right? So you can use the deep link in that case. So you will be able to prove it yourself. So let's see. Okay, so we already successfully deployed all the stuff. And we just go to the app folder, and then run npm to start the application. This is a super basic. Let me share the screen again. Okay, so now you will find that, okay, this is our SDK. We have a QR code, or if you enter this site via your mobile, you can also prove this. Okay. Anyway, so I'm going to prove with my self app. And notice that this is on testnet, so it should be a monk passport. keep asking to do the registration. Let me use another one. Anyway, you can just scan the QR code and then you'll be able to prove this. So, at the same time, we are waiting for, okay. I'm verifying now. Okay, it works. So let's see what's my user's data from the Cello, let's say, Cello testnet scan. Okay, so this is the address I just deployed, which is also the endpoint I assigned. So you can see 35 seconds ago I have approved, and since I verified the contract, I can read the state here. Okay, so the config ID, oh no, the last user data. Okay, the verification config ID is the 0x7b, which is what we set here. Okay, and yeah, the verification is successful. It's true because I just verified it, and the scope. Okay. Yeah, last user address is 0x because I didn't input anything, and the user. Okay, this is the monk passport I use. So here you can see I use a monk passport for USA, and my gender is male. So in this case, all the other attribute it's not revealed for this case. So if I just wanna have some nationality gate and gender gate, yeah, whatever, you can super flexible to control what you want to reveal for service provider and also for the user as well. So I think that's pretty much it. And yeah, let me know if you have any question, either in Mandarin or in English. It should be good. 有任何问题吗？关于 Self Protocol， 或者是你们觉得有什么好的 use cases？ 或者是我中间再补充一下，因为有很多 case， 我们之前在 East Global 赞助很多 East Global， 包括 East Global Taipei、East Global 坎城，然后跟接下来的East Global 新德里，然后我们也看到很多有趣的 use case， 像有人会用 Self App 来去 verify 说 user 的年纪是什么段、什么年龄段的，然后去显示不同的 UX， 例如放大字体啊，或者是比较 fancy 的这个 UI， 所以这个蛮有意思的。然后或者是去 verify gender， 然后做成 Tinder 啊这样子，蛮有意思的这个 app， 或者是去确定，还有人比较脑洞大开做那种，大家应该都有看过那种成人守门员，那他就要他18岁或21岁以上，所以你就不能每次都只勾说 OK 我已满18岁这样子，你必须要有一个真正的 passport， 所以这个也是一个很好的 use case。那包括 gender， 像 dating apps， 所以就会有很多attribute 跟很多应用可以build 在这边。好，那这大概是我今天的分享。然后 OK Albert。
I want to ask that if you plan to like cooperate with government to have like national voting systems or other, I think that through Self Protocol I can prove my self identity without showing any ID card. So I can use my self identity to vote for like a president or other kind of voting system.
OK， 刚刚 Albert 提出一个蛮好的 use case 是例如线上投票，然后或者是这个再简单一点，也可以是 polling， 就是民调这种，那你就可以不会有假账号来网军灌水，或者是你可以说你要的 profile， 例如针对台湾议题，只有台湾人能投票，或台湾人能够留言，那要怎么样的台湾人？男生、女生，18岁以上还是多少岁以下？就是这些东西都是可以 control， 不管是 Web2 还是 Web3 都可以整合 self protocol。然后 Albert 刚刚提出的 use case 是投总统这件事情，那其实有透过整合 self， 那用户就可以去投，或者是去做民调说，你预测下一次美国总统或台湾总统是谁？然后你必须要有台湾的 legal 的这个passport， 然后 over 18 years old， 你才能去参与这个 polling。所以这会是一个相对准确，然后比较不会被网军灌水的 use case。